Good morning. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, 2026. You're listening to Cyber FM. I'm your host, Arias Thomas, and this is today's Cybersecurity Report, being brought to you by the RSSH Delivery Company, New York's exclusive delivery option. On today's show, we are breaking down 4 operational security threats newly added to CISA's known exploited vulnerabilities catalog targeting IPsec gateways, virtualization management servers, desktop operating systems, and collaboration hubs. We'll be talking about stories number 1,
Windows Internet Key Exchange, IKE Extension RCE,
critical CVSS 9.8 flaw added to CISA KEF allowing unauthenticated network execution.
2. VMware vCenter Server Syslog Path Traversal,
Critical CVSS 9.8 flaw added to CISA KEF permitting remote arbitrary file writes on hypervisors.
3. Apple macOS Screen Sharing Authentication Bypass,
Critical CVSS 9.8 flaw added to CISA KEF allowing remote desktop hijack without valid credentials.
4. Microsoft SharePoint Weak Authentication Token Forgery,
Critical CVSS 9.1 flaw added to CISA KEF enabling pre-auth repository access. Let's begin.
Story number 1. CISA adds Windows IKE Extension RCE to KEVI catalog.
Our top story hits network perimeter security. CISA has added CVE 2026-33824, a critical double-free vulnerability in the Windows Internet Key Exchange IKE service extension carrying a CVSS score of 9.8. It's been added to the known exploited vulnerabilities catalog following active WED exploitation. The bug stems from improper memory handling when processing IKE protocol extensions. An unauthenticated remote attacker can transmit specially crafted IPsec packet sequences to vulnerable Windows hosts, triggering memory corruption to execute arbitrary code with full administrative privileges without requiring user interaction. Security teams must patch external-facing VPN and IPsec endpoints immediately.
Story number 2. VMware vCenter Syslog Path Traversal bug CVE 2026593110 exploited in the wild.
Turning to enterprise virtualization infrastructure, CISA has mandated emergency patching for CVE 2026-59310, critical CVSS 9.8 path traversal vulnerability in Broadcom's VMware vCenter server. The vulnerability resides within the vCenter Syslog service logging parser. An unauthenticated remote attacker can send malformed requests containing directory traversal sequences, allowing them to write arbitrary files to restricted root directories and execute commands on the underlying vCenter appliance. Patching is mandatory across all private cloud management clusters.
Story number 3. macOS Screen Sharing Flaw CVE 2026-65400 allows unauthenticated remote hijack.
In endpoint OS news, Apple workstations face active network attacks following the addition of CVE 2026-65400 to CISA's KEF catalog. Carrying a CVSS 9.8 severity score, the vulnerability is an improper authentication check within the macOS screen sharing and remote desktop handling stack. An attacker on an adjacent or exposed network can establish a remote desktop session and bypass password verification entirely, gaining interactive control of affected macOS endpoints. Organizations must apply Apple's emergency updates across all deployed Macs immediately.
Story number 4. SharePoint Server Token Forgery Bug CVE 2026554040 targeted in wild attacks.
Our final story covers the corporate document infrastructure. CISA has added CVE 2026-55040, a CVSS 9.1 weak authentication vulnerability in Microsoft SharePoint server, to its active exploit list. The vulnerability allows unauthenticated attackers to chain multiple weak validation checks to forge valid authentication tokens. With the forged token, attackers bypass login prompts and access confidential intranet document libraries, posing severe risk of enterprise-wide data theft and lateral network pivot. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the RSSH Delivery Company, New York's exclusive delivery option. In an era where IPsec key exchange extensions, hypervisor management syslog daemons, remote macOS desktop protocols, and enterprise document repositories face unauthenticated remote execution and zero-day authentication bypass risk, maintaining an uncompromised physical chain of custody is mission critical. Whether you're moving sensitive hardware, confidential legal documents, or emergency cold storage keys across the 5 boroughs, the RSSH provides point-to-point armed transit, real-time tracking, and uncompromised white-glove speed. When digital perimeters fail, rely on New York's elite carrier service, the RSSH Delivery Company, New York's exclusive delivery option. That brings us to the conclusion of today's operational technical briefing on Cyber FM. To recap the core material covered on today's show, we spoke about Windows IKE Extension CVSS 9.8 double free bug actively exploited for remote code execution over network gateways, VMware vCenter server Syslog Path Traversal vulnerability granting unauthenticated file rights on hypervisors, Apple macOS screen sharing flaw enabling unauthenticated remote desktop access across workstations, and Microsoft SharePoint weak authentication vulnerability allowing token forgery and unauthorized document access. I've prepared a deep dive report on each story posted on my LinkedIn page, complete with the detailed indicators of compromise, patch advisories, and architecture hardening guidelines. Final thank you to our program sponsor, the RSSH Delivery Company, New York's exclusive delivery option. I'm your host, Arias Thomas. Stay vigilant, patch your IPsec endpoints, secure your vCenter servers, and join us next time right here on Cyber FM. Have a good one.
You are listening to Cyber FM, hosted by Arias Thomas.